Hello, welcome to the United Community Channel, and we're back with another members-only chat. So really looking forward. It's been a few weeks since we've done it, so really looking forward to it. We've got a good couple of things to talk about. It's going to be nice and laid back. We're going to have a chat. We're going to answer some questions. Anyone has any comments, let us know in the comment section. And if any official channel members are watching and you do want to join at any stage throughout, the link for this is in the community tab on the homepage of the YouTube channel. Community tab, homepage, YouTube channel. So yeah, if you'd like to join us and you're an official member, go check it out. It's there for you. But we've got the usual crew as usual. Let me see what am I doing here. There we go. We've got Chris all the way from sunny Florida. We all hate you because it's sunny. We've got Oisin, and then we've got Ben as well. How are you doing, guys? All good?
Good. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, all good. Ben, tell us about the game. What do you think? Was it, to be at it last night? Good to get the 3 points, I'd say, but what did you make of it?
It was good to get the 3 points, yeah. Like I said, I'm just glad that Brentford didn't turn up because we get them in different story. It just seemed dead slow.
Yeah, yeah. I was very surprised by Brentford. I don't know what the rest of you think, but in my match preview, I was expecting Brentford to really, really put it up to us, but they just kind of, they were shrinking violets nearly.
Yeah.
What did you make of it, Chris?
I just think Brentford, like they had a game like we had against Newcastle. Like no one really wanted to. It looked like no one wanted to be there. No one wanted to play in the rain. They were just kind of like, like it's, and maybe it's because they were playing in Old Trafford, and maybe that took it out of them. But they just didn't. Like I said earlier, they averaged 30% possession and they had 35, but. Their two forwards did nothing.
Yeah. But I do have to give our defense a bit of credit on the flip side of that as well. I thought they were very good.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Malacia came on and looked fantastic, to be honest.
I was delighted with him.
Leacha, the butcher, was all over the place. And, I think, the only person Delo did all right, but he just seems to be like silent.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Delo since the World Cup, since he came back from that injury. Maybe it's just he set such high standards for himself before the World Cup. I thought he was really, really good, and he was up there with one of the best right backs in the league in the first half of the season. But
he was making runs forward, but he was making them inverted, where he was going inside of Anthony, if you noticed, instead of outside of Anthony. So, I'll give him that. So.
Yeah, and it's a weird one when you do see things like that happening, especially when you have inverted wingers, for example, and I don't know, I'll come to you on this one, Oisin. I would love to see Anthony played on the left-hand side because, and even it happened at one stage in the first half where he actually trusted his right foot. He got to the end and he pulled one back from McTominay, who got a really good shot off from it. What do you make of the overall, that kind of inverted wingers kind of?
Anybody who kind of watches the channel would know my comments about Anthony are mostly he's too one-footed. I even said it last night that, when Anthony gets the ball, you know what he's going to do. Everyone knows what he's going to do. He's going to come inside, and I didn't notice, Chris, too much Dallo cutting inside him last night, but that even negates even more. Surely he should be going on the outside because Anthony's going to come inside. But I said it a few weeks ago before the international break, I would love to see Anthony on the left, skin a right full, and just get balls into the box constantly. Now we've got someone like Wakehurst that will be a target man in there. Put him out on the left and let him go up and down.
Only problem with Wakehurst is like he's a stick in the mud. He can't finish anything right now. That's it. Maybe
he could do like Sabitzer did last night, and just second balls, third balls. You know what I mean? Just break up the play and win the ball in there. But if we've got someone like Anthony that side, and I've given up on Sancho. Play Rashford out on the right. Sancho to me is a busted flush. He hasn't worked out at all. He's been there about 3 years there now.
I don't want him to be either though. Yeah.
No, he came with such high hopes. And look, 18 million is going to weigh on anybody, but he's a busted flush. I don't think he's going to make it United. And I hate saying it, but I don't think he's going to make it United at this stage now. He's had the 3 months off. Ten Hag sent him to Holland. Chris, you had your theory about learning the false 9. That hasn't worked out. Yeah, I think it's time maybe to cut the losses with Sancho. For me, anyway.
I kind of have to agree. I mean, at this point, because I looked at it and I mean, yeah, I thought he was going to maybe do a good false 9 and be able to play through the center, but now it's just like when I watch him, it's like, and I compared it to when you look at it, if you go back and you look at it when you play with Dortmund, it's like I think we have to be realistic. And when we bought him, he was playing with Erling Haaland in the middle. So whenever you send a cross in there, just like City does, Haaland gets on the end of it, you know. And I think that Sancho only has the speed to beat Bundesliga defenders and not EPL defenders. I think
there was one point last night, Ben, you probably saw it better. De Gea played the ball down the middle, and Sancho chased it. And he was a mile ahead of the two centre halves, and they caught him up, and he just gave up on the ball. Gave up on it. You know, he pulled out of it. You know, and that to me last night was the kind of thing that he doesn't want to be there. His confidence is low because he's not playing the game that he knows he can play. But it's time maybe to kind of move on from him, I think.
I think if he's got a future, he just needs to go back to simple, though. Play the ball. Just get the ball, win the ball, play it simple. It's not what you want to see because he needs £80 million, but just grow confidence doing that. Getting the ball, pass it on. I know it's not the right thing to say because he shouldn't be doing that, should he? But
and what would you like to see him maybe go on loan, or do you think we should cash in on him?
Let's give him a pre-season, give him the start of next season. Then, if he's not playing it by January, cash in and see what we can get from him.
And I've been a Sancho, supporter, but I think we should cash in. If you put him out there and someone gives you 20 to.
Chris is after skipping out on us. I presume he was going to say 20 to 30 million.
It's
a big loss.
That would be a serious loss. Especially if the Qataris are coming in or whoever's coming in. That's not the way they'll do business, Yeah.
It's a shame, and I've been saying for the last few weeks now that another 12 months. But I mean, the one frustration I see is that we don't see any progression at all from him. You know what I mean? Like there's no improvement slightly week on week. There's no improvement slightly month on month. He's basically been a passenger this season.
I think that's the thing though. We all want him to do well, don't we? Everybody wants him to do well. It's not like everybody hates him. Everybody likes him, don't he? He's a good character.
Can you compare him to Grealish? Jack Grealish? I mean, the way he plays now? I mean, he's got to turn into that kind of player.
Grealish, what's this? This is Grealish's second season with City, and he's actually doing a lot better this season, I think, as much as you don't like saying it, because, fuck him, and, is he Irish or is he English? I don't know. But anyway, we sang some songs about him over at the Euros in 2016 when we were over at the Lille game. Oh my God. It can't be repeated on this. But look, I don't know. I would love to see him. I think if you had a Sancho playing at the levels we know he's capable of, with a Marcus Rashford on the left and whoever it may be that we buy in the summer as a number 9, at Osimhen or a Kane, I mean, you're talking about a serious front line.
But is he better than Ahmed Diallo that's on loan that's tearing it up?
Yeah, well, that's a good point as well. I mean, I wouldn't say Diallo has the same levels that Sancho has, but
and there's Garnacho there too, who has to come in.
Exactly. An ounce of skill is worth a bucket of shit. That's what one of the coaches that I used to say. He said, you know what I mean? An ounce of skill is worth a bucket of shit. Now, you can have an ounce of skill, but sometimes a bucket of shit might be better because this lad with the skill doesn't work or doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? You can have all the skill in the world, but if you're not willing to work hard and graft,
desire. It's all
desire, and I think that's maybe what I think.
It was that ball last night that De Gea played. He just gave up. Didn't show any desire trying to win that ball back.
He didn't even try to
his heart's not there. No, he didn't. He just gave up.
There's
nothing.
He just stood there with his arms like this.
And he stepped back from it. He let the two guys get in front of him and take charge of the situation. He just stepped back from it.
And I'd rather him take a foul. Like if he's trying to fight with someone and get
give a free out. Give a free out.
Yes. But geez, like it's just like I don't know. I mean, it's like, and I understand, but everybody's got to remember he's not a Ten Hag. He's not someone that he bought. So
Yeah.
he's
I was just
inherited.
thinking that when Jack compared to Grealish, maybe he needs a year under Ten Hag, know what Ten Hag is doing, and then judge him on next season. Because he's had Solskjaer and Ralph, and let's be honest, Ralph was only there keeping the doors open, you know what I mean?
Keeping the lights on.
You know, but
Frank Lampard.
but
I think
season,
and I think that point alone, Oisín, is a good one, because I think Ten Hag specifically can just say, well, look, I'm happy to give him another season. I didn't buy him. He's not my flop. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I'm happy to give him another year if you want. I think it'll depend on what type of owners we get in and what they might, because by all accounts, the money we spent last season is going to mean that we're going to have to sell players this summer. You know what I mean? Now, we don't have to sell massive amounts, but if you were looking to cash in and get 20, 30, 40 million, Sancho is the man for it.
Well, I mean,
that's he's the only one. He is the only one.
In the newscast that you did in Jack a couple of days ago about Ten Hag wanting to be cutthroat and just, here's your opportunity. Let's be cutthroat. I mean, because it's not like Oisín said, it's not like we don't have options to kind of push. You still have Pellistri, you have Amad Diallo, you have Garnacho, you have Rashford. I mean, you could bring in a younger winger or two at that point, but at the same time, we have options that you can play on that side. Anthony again, and just be like, okay, well, we're going to cash in 35, 40 million, leave. See you, bye. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Where's he going to go that he's going to flourish? I don't. Yeah. The way he plays, if you look at the way he plays right now and the desire that he shows right now, maybe that changes because he gets sold, but I don't see him flourishing anywhere. I don't think he's going to come back to bite us.
What is it with United buying Dortmund players that they don't work out? Kagawa, Mkhitaryan, and now Sancho. Is there a curse there? Is there something happening?
Yeah, well, I don't think Bellingham would go in that direction. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I don't know. I think different players in different times and different managers as well. Like, I remember that goal. Not Mkhitaryan, Kagawa got. Remember where he just passed it into the near post. Rooney played this ball really fast across the edge of the 6-yard box, and he ran into it and he just passed it. And I was like, oh, this lad is going to be the best player in the world. We're after signing an absolute steal. And then he just done nothing then after that. You know what I mean?
Everybody tried to compare him to Park Ji-sung, and that's a tall order.
Yeah, well, that I'd say they were comparing him more on other things besides footballing ability now. You know what I mean? I'd say a lot of people with narrow minds. You know what I mean? But anyway, look, we'll move on from Sancho. I want to mention real quick Luke Shaw, because obviously he did come off injured last night, and Ten Hag doing what Ten Hag does, it doesn't give an awful lot away in relation to when he's going to be back and what we're looking at in terms of game time. Let me just scroll down to see what is, because he actually said it on MUTV. In this moment, I can't give anything. We have to wait 24 hours for the right diagnosis. So, question I want to put to you guys is, if he is gone for a few weeks or whatever it may be, is it a big worry? Because obviously we're after seeing a really good performance in Malacia last night coming off the bench. Would you be concerned if Luke Shaw is gone?
I would.
Yeah,
I would. I think he's been a cut above most left backs in the season in the league this year. It's probably his best year at United for me.
Oh, absolutely. I think so. Yeah.
Malacia came on last night. You've all said that Brentford didn't turn up last night. If Brentford did turn up, would Malacia have played the game that he had last night? Malacia is raw. He's young. He's still getting used to the league. I would be slightly concerned because, again, if Malacia goes down, God forbid, who comes in there after that? Well, what's our depth chart? We don't have one. We don't have
Lindelof.
Lindelof can play left back, can't he?
Yeah,
I thought it was more rightful. No,
at this point, it doesn't matter.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's outside.
You bring more Maguire, take your pick.
Yeah,
I'd rather neither. I'd rather have McTominay back there.
Well, I would rather put Lindelof centre back and put Martinez out there.
Is out there, yeah.
You know, or is Brandon Williams even registered for the Premier League squad?
I was going to ask that. Does he
Is
have
it
a
a whip
squad
it?
number this year?
He's a whip it away.
Yeah,
Or is he sucking on balloons somewhere?
maybe so. Maybe so. You just try to start playing like that in Old Trafford. But guys, what do you think, Luke Shaw? Do you think it'd be a worry?
Of course it worries because he's a first team player, but I think of all the positions that we could stand to have an injury, left back is the least of my worries because I think Malacia can stand up on his own. But I mean, again, would I rather have Luke Shaw? Of course, like Osteen said, like this is one of the best years he's had at United, and I want him to be there. But of all the positions that I think we could have taken an injury, I would have been like, go that way. You know, that side. So, but I mean, it's always a worry when the first team guy goes down.
Yeah, Ben.
I totally agree. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Sorry. Go on.
It didn't seem too bad when he was coming off. He was walking off. He wasn't holding it. He wasn't. You know, it didn't seem like one of those where it's could be a 12 to 18 weeker. You know what I mean?
I think it happened when he kicked himself on that shot that he came through the middle.
Sorry
when I was there was no sign of it. It was just, so I reckon it's like a precaution. They might have took him off, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no sign. It was just always going off. That was it.
Yeah.
So,
I reckon so. And I'd have to second what you're saying there. I think there would be a lot more concerning areas of getting injuries than at left back, you know. I want to talk to you real quick as well about David De Gea, because we see the best and the worst of David De Gea last night. We really did. Like at one stage he nearly threw the game away, and 5 or 10 minutes later he kept us in it, you know. I don't think it's an area we really touched on in these member chats, but do you cash in on De Gea? Do you get rid? Do you upgrade? Do you bring someone in to maybe challenging him? You know, what's your thoughts on it? Ben, we'll start with you.
I would keep him, but you've got to get some competition in for him. Somebody that will actually challenge him. See, with De Gea, with his kicks and everything, I don't blame him with goal kicks. I hate that goal kick routine that we do. So do I. Every time we do it, every single time. We never mix it up. Why don't we go long every now and again? And it's always Martinez passing it to De Gea. Why can't he pass it to Martinez or go to Varane?
Yeah.
Same thing every time. Shot stopping, can't beat him.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
It's kind of the modern goalkeeper versus traditional goalkeepers, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, De Gea is shot stopper and a good one, but he's not a good modern goalkeeper.
No.
We'll go to you next, Oisín.
Yeah. I mean, there was that moment last night, that goal kick routine. Myself and Ben are constantly talking about it in the chat. I get palpitations every time I see it. You know, I watched Match of the Day back last night, and I'm not sure the goal would have stood. I think it hit Tony's arm, but nonetheless, there is that moment of what are we doing here? You know, and I mean, teams are figuring it out. They're gonna press quick. As you said, Jack, it's the modern goalkeeper. He has no distribution. It's just he kicks the ball and hopes for the best. You know, how many times has he put the ball out of play with a simple 5-yard pass to Luke Shaw or a little chip? He just has no distribution. I'd keep him, but he needs some strong competition. I remember, was it after Schmeichel left, we had Bosnich and Raymond van der Gouw, and Ferguson alternated them. And even when Roy Carroll and Ben Foster were there, they were alternated. Might be time for that next year, just to have a bit of the number one shirt is yours, but you got to get it. And I
Did it ever work?
You need consistency back there. I know you were going to see that, but for too long now, De Gea knows that number one shirt is his, and there's no pressure on him. He needs a bit of competition. He needs a lot of competition.
The one issue I would have with that is, and it's just down to history. Like, name me a team that has been very successful and won things that has alternated their goalkeepers. I don't think there's been one. Now, well, I can't remember one. Maybe I'm wrong. And I even down to local levels that I'd be playing at. I remember one year we had 2 really good goalkeepers going head to head, and were in and out, and one goalkeeper, like I'm playing in the defense in front of him, and one goalkeeper would be telling you one thing one week, the other one would be telling you something different the next week, and you're kind of, well, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean?
The only thing is,
go on.
The only thing is, Jack, I don't think De Gea, like I played similar to you, where you had one goalkeeper that was like, he liked to come out and get the ball on crosses, and he had one goalkeeper that looked, his feet were his heels were planted on the goal line. But the problem is, I don't see De Gea doing the pointing out, telling you what to do. I think it's more Varane and Martinez that are doing that. De Gea is just along for the ride at that point. I mean, and I agree with you. I don't think there's a team that alternating goalkeepers, but I think that can you imagine what the headlines would be if it hit Tony and went in the net and we tied 1-1?
Yeah,
and it would be. I just think that you have to bring in somebody like. But the problem is, where do we fit that in the budget?
Yeah, and it's one of them things that we're saying that, it's obviously not there. There's obviously areas of the pitch that take a higher priority in terms of a rebuild. But in saying that, I mean, are you going to go out and spend 20 million on a goalkeeper that will half challenge De Gea this season? We need to bring someone in to challenge him in the summer. We have to. But do you
Sell
go
Henderson,
out now and just
sell Henderson. Heaton's going to retire. Jack Butland will go back to the club. That leaves De Gea there on his own. They have to go out and buy someone.
Yeah. And that's exactly my point. Do we go out and spend 20 million on a half-arse, goalkeeper that's going to half challenge him, or do you say, right, well, this is a priority area now. We have to spend 50, 60 million, whatever it is, on a goalkeeper to really, really challenge him.
Well, if the reports are true and De Gea is going to sign on reduced fees, that frees up some money there, surely.
Yeah.
But there might be something there.
Where does it kind of fall on your priority list? Obviously, I think everyone is in agreement that number 9 is number 1. You know what I mean? But where would it fall on your priority list?
4th or 5th for me. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, behind
striker number 1.
Yeah. Behind what?
CDM maybe.
Striker, midfield, goalkeeper.
Right. Okay.
I'm looking at a new right.
But I'm guessing I'm looking for two midfielders.
Yeah.
Like two, and then a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Because I'm in agreement with everybody, and is that we need 2 strikers. Whether it's, I don't care if it's Osman or Kane, and you got to bring in Ferguson or the Hogland or whoever it is. And then I think we need, whether we
Hovland, is he not leading the Masters at the moment? Did you just say Hovland?
No, the other guy, the Danish guy. Yeah. But then the other, then whether we keep Sabitzer or we bring in 2 midfielders, and I think one needs to be the CDM type, more of a Casemiro type, and one needs to be a number 8.
Yeah. Or
after last night, maybe Bruno plays an 8 and you bring in a 10.
Yeah, I mean he's dipped his toe in the water a little bit with Bruno playing a lot deeper in the last couple of games. I thought Bruno was good last night.
I didn't have any problems. I mean, the problem is going to be is like Oshin said, Brentford didn't turn up, and if you have a midfield that's going to press him in, what's he going to do with the ball? Whether he's going to be able to hold it, or if he's going to, do Jack's favorite flips and tricks and try to get rid of it.
Yeah. All right, I want to move it on, guys, to contract talks, because obviously we have and De Gea kind of fits in nicely with this as well. But obviously talks have been surfacing over the last few weeks about deals. Ten Hag wants a quick resolution to contract extensions. Negotiations are ongoing for Rashford, De Gea, Diogo Dalot, and Fred. Ten Hag wants it done quick, and I like to see this part as well. He said, we want to keep them, so we're offering them contracts, but we, John Murtagh and myself, together with the players' agents, have to come to agreement. So it does look like Ten Hag is taking a very hands-on approach in relation to contract negotiations and talks and things like that. Out of the list of 4 there, obviously, we've discussed De Gea, and majority of us think we want him to stay. Obviously, Rashford is a given. What about the other 2, Dalot and Fred? do you think they deserve new contracts? Do you think they should be being extended? You know, would you maybe cash in on? Because I know there's a lot of talk at the moment, and I won't say the fan base is divided, but especially at the right back area about who are we going to keep, Delo or Wan-Bissaka? Yeah, give me your thoughts on that. On that, Chris.
I think, I mean, if Fred comes in at a reasonable price, I think we should keep Fred. I mean, but between Delo and Wan-Bissaka, I think one needs to go. And I mean, again, this goes back to, you know, what are you planning to do in the transfer market? Are you planning on bringing in Jeremy Frimpong? And I read yesterday or this morning, that Denzel Dumfries changed agents because he wants to move to Manchester United, to someone that has more of a Manchester United tie, you know. So, I mean, I'm a fan of Denzel Dumfries. Like, through the World Cup, the guys, I think he's what you want in both. He can defend and he goes forward. He scores goals. Like, he doesn't just make a run to the box. He makes a run to the goal, and you know, he's finishing things. Yeah. So, and they were talking about a fee of only 30 to 35 million for him, which
for
I think
Frimpong.
For
Dumfries. Sorry.
Yeah, Frimpong, I believe, they're valuing him more in the 50-60 range, which because of his youth, and I get it, but I like Dumfries. I mean, I know he may not be the longest term answer, but if you had Dumfries and you ended up keeping, you know, Delo, but I think you're going to get more money for Delo than you will for Wan-Bissaka at this point. Yeah. And I think we have to make a earnest look at who we need to do and really be keen on. We need to move this guy and get as much money. We need to move this guy and get as much money, so then we can reinvest in really bring in guys. And, you know, I'm a Dumfries guy. I mean, Frimpong, I've watched him at Leverkusen. I mean, he's very fast and he's very good, but he's not the best at defending and he's not the best at attacking.
Yeah. So I think he's more of an attacking fullback than he is a defensive fullback. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He reminds me of a young Alphonso Davies for Bayern Munich. You know, he hasn't filled out yet. So that's the other thing. I mean, Dumfries is a big boy. I think he can play in the EPL.
I have that song in my head. Big boy, he's a big boy. I was listening in the radio on the way home earlier on. Anyway, go on. Someone take up on from what Chris has said. What do you think about these contract negotiations?
I think a lot of this will depend on who's coming in buying, in terms of what we can do in terms of the transfer. So, who would we keep out of Delo and Fred? Personally, I'd keep Fred. This is his best year, and we've seen a different side of Fred this year. He seems a lot more composed and comfortable than he has since he's been there. Keep him as a squad player. Delos had a great start to the season, lost his spot, and hasn't really recovered from that. You know, I'd be selling Wan-Bissaka and keeping Delo as a backup too. I like Dumfries as well. I'd love to see Dumfries at United. I've been saying that for a while now. I'd like to see him at United. So I'd be keeping Delo as a backup, and I'd be letting Wan-Bissaka go. Is how I would look at it.
Yeah, very good, very good. Ben?
Right, yeah, I'd keep Fred. I think he deserves to stop, don't he? You're not going to like it, but I'd sell Delo personally.
Would ya?
Yeah, just for the reason is, we're going to go and get Dumfries. Do you know if we get to the Champions League and we need a defender, who's going to be better right back than Wan-Bissaka?
Well, I have to agree with you on that, and I mentioned this. Did I do it? I do so many fucking TikToks. I can't remember which one I did. I think I done one on Delo and Wan-Bissaka, or I mentioned it somewhere, and I had a kind of a similar point to that as well. And I think I was talking about Frimpong. I said if you're going out and getting a Frimpong, I would probably go with selling Delo over Wan-Bissaka. So you have a contrast of defenders. You have one very attacking and one very defensive defender. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'd mean. That's why I'd do it.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely. Some good news. Now, we're not talking about, getting rid of players now or anything like that. So we'll talk about, we'll finish off with this guy and how good is it to have him back. Now, obviously, I think Sunday is probably going to come, or Saturday is going to come too quickly. He looks like he's after putting on a bit of timber in that picture, doesn't he?
That's funny, yeah.
I'd say the wind's behind him. Yeah, the wind's
maybe
behind
so.
him. Yeah.
Maybe so. Or maybe it's Casemiro running past him so fast there is after moving his top. But good to have the two of them back. Hopefully this day next week.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now let me ask you then. I'll start with you, Ben. Does he go straight back into the team?
Yeah, the way he's playing, you've got to. I would say. I think we missed him last night. Can you imagine if he was there in that space?
Yeah. And would you go right him and Casemiro next Thursday, Europa League back in, you know, him and get back to the midfield three that we want that you know we were hoping to have all season. Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno straight back in.
You've got to, haven't you? If they're available, you play your best team, don't you?
Yeah.
I think you put Casemiro and Bruno and then put Eriksen in front of them.
Okay.
Give them a little bit less of a burden of, you know, running and, you know, being box that box to box. Because I mean, I'll be honest, like, and Jackie pointed out in our watch alongs that, I mean, Bruno is running. I mean, he's putting in the effort. He's tracking back. He's doing what he needs to do, because I think he wants to be a captain and he wants to be that guy. But I think you put Casemiro and you put Bruno and let Casemiro direct him and tell him where to be and what to do, and then you put Eriksen up higher and you let him sit up there and work with the defenders or work with the, you know, the forwards at that point. That's what I would do. You know.
Right. Good. Oisín.
I'd put him on the bench for Saturday. I'd give him a half hour against Everton and then see how he comes through that. If he comes through that well, he's nailed on for next Thursday night.
Yeah. And tell me, is he going to be fit for Saturday? Because I didn't hear whether he would be or not.
I don't think he's going to be on the bench.
Do you don't think so?
I don't think so. No, I thought they said that his first opportunity would be Thursday, not Saturday.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, is he? Yeah. Well, look, I don't know. Maybe if Casemiro is back in and ready to go as well, I don't see. Has Ten Hag ever brought a player back from injury and started him first game? I don't think he has, to be quite honest with you. Let's see what Brian has a comment in here. Agreed, but Ten Hag usually doesn't put players straight back in. All right, there we go. Sorry, that sounds like I just robbed Brian's comment there, but I actually genuinely didn't see it. Right, I'm going to finish up with a little bit of trivia because I've seen a deadly question today, right? And there's only one team in history that have been holders of the Champions League and the Europa League / UEFA Cup at the same time. Guess the team. Do you know what I should have had? I knew I should have got the countdown music to come on.
Champions League.
Now, obviously, that would mean that they won the Champions League or the Europa League the year before, and then obviously before it changed hands the following year, they won the other competition.
Yes. So
you know what I mean?
Stab in the dark at Ajax.
Ajax, okay. Chris, give us a stab in the dark. Obviously, it's a European team.
I'm going to go AC Milan.
AC Milan, right. Ben?
It's a tough one.
We have a Dutch team and an Italian team.
Right. I can't think now.
I can't think.
I know.
Right, I'll tell you who it is. The one and only Chelsea.
After I gave the answer and Ben was, I said it couldn't be. One matter. Yeah. There's this. I can't. There's a Twitter account that does all of these great trivia. So
what do we think about Lampard being appointed?
I mean, I think it's absolutely fantastic because first and foremost, when they signed a lot of attacking players, you know what I mean, without a goal scorer, so they couldn't score goals, but they were all right at defending, you know what I mean. And now they're going to have no goals and they're going to be shit at defending because that's basically what Lampard was like when he was manager the last time. So
where do they sit in the league? How far off the relegation points are they?
I think they're 11th.
They're 11th, I think. I've
But,
got
but in terms of points, there's only 5 points between the last 8 teams. Only getting there.
I've got it
Can
here.
you imagine if they got regulated?
Share.
Well, he's definitely going to drag them down. He's not going to put them into the top half.
So there you go. So
11th.
they're 11th on 39 points. Yeah, they're only 8 points off relegation. Oh no, sorry, they're not. 12 points. Sorry, 12 points. 12 points.
I think they're pretty. They're not clear, but they're not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, 27 is there, and that's where they are there. So, oh, wouldn't it be brilliant if they got relegated?
I mean, they play Wolves. What, Saturday, Sunday?
I'm not sure that. Actually.
I think it's Saturday. I think they play Wolves on Saturday.
Geez, Leicester in really big trouble.
Yes, they are.
So they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We better sell McTominay quick because the other word is that that Newcastle may try to buy James Maddison if they get relegated.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because I hear talks today that Martin O'Neill could potentially be going back to Leicester.
Yeah,
that would be good for them.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for him. He was there before. Right, lads, we'll leave it there.
Wait, we got one thing. We got Jack.
Right,
are you gonna do the bet then?
What bet is this? Oh,
if we win the Europa, you get the Martinez haircut.
Right, okay. If we win the Europa League, I get the Martinez haircut. Right, that's fair enough.
And diet like Granachos.
Yeah, or Garnacho. No.
Anthony's.
No. Fuck. Jesus, Garnacho. I won't be able to go outside. How long do I have to have it for before I get caught a second time?
You gotta go on for 1 week, one live. One live
to do it.
In one picture outside in public.
Shit, right. I need to learn how to use Photoshop between now and then. So right, no, I'll agree to that because that if we do get to that, that'll obviously be the last game of the season. So I'll do one maybe I don't know, I'll do one news show.
If I'm gonna do it,
you have to TikTok. You have to TikTok the barber as well.
Right, okay, I'll TikTok the barber. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, and I know a lad who does haircuts and all that does it on social media as well. So I'll get him to.
I don't think he'll want to do that one on social media because he won't get anybody to come in if.
Well, maybe so. It's all about networking in this social media game. You know what I mean?
But I will if we every game we win, I'll gift a membership.
Right, that's nobody. Jesus, yeah, brilliant. But yeah, that's what I said. That's what I was saying last night. Rather than giving super chats, you know what I mean?
But I can't Jack on the thing when I have a screenshot. I'll send it to your Instagram. When I do that little $sign button, it only gives me the super sticker or the super chat option.
Yeah, look, don't be worrying about it. Jeez, there's no issues at all, man. But yeah, happy days. I'd be happy to do it. And someone mentioned last night about me getting a tattoo as well. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that's the logo. That's the logo.
The
United Community Channel logo.
Yeah.
I get that when we win the Champions League. I should be fucking saying this. What am I doing? Right, let's leave it there. Right,
clip it.
Oliver's there in the chat. Brian is in the chat. Thanks for joining as well, guys. Lads, thanks for jumping in. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, again, guys, anybody watching back to this at a later date, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Get your comments into the chat. If you want to become an official member and come on screen like the guys here, or just stay in the chat as normal, link is in the description. Go check out the options. I'll see you Saturday, boys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No problem at all. Appreciate you popping on.
Good later.
Talk to you soon. Take it easy.